Welcome to this Fundamentals Lesson Plan series on walls, layout, design, and editing. In this video, we'll take a look at applying a alignment constraint to two walls to match our design intent. This is video 4 of 6. My name is John Harridge, and I will be your host for today's lesson. Let's review the learning objectives for video 4. In this lesson, we will be able to apply an alignment constraint to two wall segments that are in different planes. And the purpose is to create and encode our design intent to become a permanent part of the design process. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's begin the exercise by opening up an existing file. Go ahead and click Open, and then navigate to your tutorial folder, and let's open up the file Walls 04 exercise. So the purpose of alignment constraints is to create a design relationship between two or more elements in the project environment. And this will be persistent over the life cycle of the project if you so choose to. But before we get started, let me dive a little deeper into the finer points of alignments through an instructor demo. Just please watch on screen. I'm going to place two vertical walls on screen just above the exercise model there. So there's the first wall, and then the second wall. Now I'll go ahead and zoom in. And just for clarity, I turned on the thin lines mode just so that you could see the individual layers that make up the wall structure. And in just a moment, we'll actually go ahead and take a deeper look into the wall structure itself. So I select the wall, click on Edit Type, and then choose the Edit button across from Structure field. And if I zoom in, I'm looking at the section view in the wall editor, and obviously it has a structural core. That's the metal stud. And then in this particular case, the wall type has two gypsum wallboard layers, both on the left side and the right side. So I just wanted you to have that as a contextual reference when it comes to applying alignment constraints. To locate the alignment tool, select the Modify tab, and in the Modify panel, you'll locate the alignment tool. And then the question is, what's the context reference? By default, the alignment tool can find the exterior faces of the wall and also the virtual center line of the overall wall segment. The question is do we have the ability to use other faces of the wall as a reference plane? And we can if we use the tab key to cycle through those individual layers. So the first step is to go ahead and set what's called the reference plane. This is the part of the wall that's not going to move. And then we're going to select a face on the next wall that we want to move to that reference plane. In this case, I chose the left edge of the second wall. And you'll notice that a padlock appears on screen. And this is how we create the alignment to become permanent, is by left-clicking on that padlock. And you can see that when I moved the wall selection, both wall segments move. And it doesn't matter which segment you choose, they are both locked into that design relationship. Now let's take a look at another look at creating alignment with the lower wall. So in this case, I'm choosing the left edge of the right-hand wall, and then I'm choosing the left face of the left wall, and then again applying the alignment constraint. So it doesn't matter which one's which, it's just which wall stays home and acts as the reference point for moving the other objects to that reference plane. In this case, I want to demonstrate that there is an opportunity to create offsets that still leverage the alignment constraints. So in this case, I made the left edge of the right wall the reference plane, and then I chose the right face of the left wall to align with that plane. And again, the alignment constraint is enforced. This concludes this instructor demo. Let me clean up the environment and let's move on to the exercise at hand. To begin, we'll place a new interior partition wall and align it to an exterior one. Go ahead and select the wall tool from the architectural tab, and then in the type selector, go ahead and choose interior 6 1/8 inch partition. Go ahead and place the starting point of the wall somewhere along this edge of this exterior wall, and then drag the cursor downwards and go ahead and set the endpoint on the opposite wall. And the purpose of this exercise is to align the left face of the gypsum wall board on the exterior wall with the left face of the gypsum wall board on the interior partition wall. Hit escape to end the wall placement command, and then select the modify tab, and you'll find the alignment tool in the modify panel. Go ahead and left click to select it, and then we'll make the exterior partition wall gypsum wallboard face the reference plane for this alignment. Just simply left click to select that, and then move your cursor over to the left face of the interior partition wall. Left click on that face and the wall moves, and the alignment padlock appears. Go ahead and left click to activate that alignment lock. And then placing the interior partition wall panel in a selection set, go ahead and drag that wall to the left, and notice that the exterior wall moves also. That concludes this exercise. Go ahead and close the file without saving changes, and let's take a look at next steps. In review of the lesson objectives for video 4, we were able to apply an alignment constraint to 2 wall segments, one becoming the reference plane and the other one being moved to that same reference plane to align the gypsum wallboard faces. With that, let's take a look at the Autodesk resources that are available to you. I would like to make you aware of 2 specific Autodesk resources. The first one being the Autodesk Education Community, where you can access free software for both students and educators, and that can be located at www.students.autodesk.com. It does require registration, and you can use either your own personal email address or a school-issued email address. The second resource is the Autodesk Digital STEAM Workshop. It's hands-on, project-based learning across multiple industries such as architecture, engineering, gaming, and animation. And those resources are located at www.digitalsteam.autodesk.com. This concludes this exercise. Thank you very much for watching.